Welcome back. You're still here on the Breakfast Show here with us, Satira and Lisa. Now, today we're going to be talking about breastfeeding as well as breast milk donation. Breastfeeding, you know, might be 100% natural, but like all things, we need a guiding hand. So in the past, we have like midwives and grandmothers and relatives, you know, in the home to guide us. But these days, where do modern moms go for advice? So we do have a network of ladies joining us this morning who would be sharing their experience and expertise on this topic. We have Gina Yong, who is a breastfeeding consultant, and Daphne Lee, Malaysian breastfeeding peer counselor. They both represent the Breastfeeding Advocates Network. We also have Zaszima administrator from the Human Milk for Human Babies. And from the same organization, we also have Miss Chern Pei Wei.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Now, we are so happy because we need to inform you that all these are mothers, and they have been through breastfeeding experiences.
One is in fact expecting at the moment with her second child.
Yes, congratulations. Now, breastfeeding starts obviously with newborns and mothers, right? So how do you teach a mother to breastfeed and, you know, for the baby to latch on?
In my opinion, breastfeeding starts before the baby is born. Yeah,
okay.
You know, education you need to learn more about breastfeeding before your baby arrives. Yeah, so we encourage mothers to attend classes, go for birthing classes, breastfeeding classes, any antenatal classes that they can go for, and join Advocates Network, forums, learn more about breastfeeding before you actually have your baby in your arms. Because the moment you have your baby in your arms, you know, kalam kabut. Okay, and you do not know whether to carry it this way or carry it this way. And then when the baby latches on, you know, you do not know. If you learn before your baby arrives, you know what to expect.
At least you keep your mind and
you have the information. You have some information, and you know what to expect. So, and you know who to call for help when you have problems.
It's funny though, it's because it's such a natural thing, breastfeeding, yet it has to be learned.
Yes,
and as Lisa mentioned earlier, back in the day, we have all these midwives and your grandmothers and whatnot to be with you.
And they learn before the baby arrives. And the midwives, the grandmothers,
the information gets passed on.
Right.
In the modern days, however, you know, especially working moms and all that, they might not have the time or might not feel comfortable. And what I notice is even among my friends who have kids, you know, young mothers, they tend to discuss, you know, this topic among themselves on WhatsApp and all that. And I'm like, what's going on? So is this what you're trying to deliver with your organization? You're trying to spread awareness as well as information.
Yes, that's why we started the Breastfeeding Advocates Network. That was like in 2009, September 2009, and we celebrated our 3rd year in business last year. But we accept no fees.
So it's purely to help each other out.
That's right. It's basically an online forum. So like you mentioned, people who are very, very busy, they have to go back to work. How do you express milk when you're back at work? And how can you continue breastfeeding when you go back to working from 9 to 5? So that's where we have this online information. We provide all the information that you need, like what time, how, what is the amount, and also based on your child's age, how much should be fed. So 24 hours. There are 5 admins in there.
Right. So coming from experience here, what would you say to mothers, you know, mothers to be here? How often should they do it? What happens if the baby doesn't latch on? You know, sometimes they get emotional, they get really upset.
Well, basically, if let's just say the baby, well, there is a way to get the baby back on the breast, of course. We would prefer that. And for moms who actually goes back to work, we actually recommend that you express when you're at work, either hand expression. It's called the marmot technique. Or you can actually utilize the breast pump. That's during the working hours. And when you're back home, you latch on and feed your baby, breastfeed exclusively when you're back at home.
Right. Now, the reason why we have all 4 of you here today on the show is because to get 2 different perspectives. Now, Zaz and Pei Wei, you are here today basically to discuss within our little forum on the possibility of donating breast milk. Now, how does this work, and you know, why should one, take a breast milk that is from a donor? Is it safe?
Yes. In fact, you as a donor, actually, you can donate your excess express breast milk to mothers, to babies in need. Yeah. So you actually, if I were to get the donated breast milk, I can always ask the milk mother to provide me a copy of the latest health screen report, right? And then, and to be extra careful, you can actually do flash pasteurization, right? And while doing this, you can actually kill even the HIV virus.
Right.
How do you do this? I mean, the pasteurization.
It's a very simple technique.
Which is actually, these are the images showing it.
Yes. So you just pour the breast milk into a glass jar, and you place it in a pan, fill it with water, and then heat it up to boiling. And once you see bubbles at the side of the pan, then you can just off the fire and let it cool down before you can feed the baby.
Now, why would a mother get milk from? In what kind of situation would a mother need to take breast milk from a donor?
Zaz?
Yeah, when probably when they're having problem of supply. Yeah, that one thing that I can think of.
Yeah, like when mother, in case the baby is in the ICU care, so the mother can't direct latch the baby, hence lesser stimulation. So the mother can look for a breast milk donor actually.
So the baby
while they're,
Or if the baby arrives.
So that's where they come to you, mothers who are looking for breast milk.
Yes.
That's where they come to human milk for human babies.
Yes.
Now, Zaz, how does the process go by? I mean, can mothers, living in different parts of Klang Valley, is that kind of accessible, quick convenience?
Oh yeah, because we get connected via Facebook. So it's like a virtual notice board. So those people who has access express breast milk will post up that I have express breast milk, extra.
Everything is available on Facebook nowadays.
And express.
Amazing.
And those people probably have a lack of supply, or maybe having problem like maybe preterm baby and the mom supply is not yet coming out. Then they probably ask in the our Facebook page and say, I need a supply of breast milk.
But is there a difference between a child's own mother's milk and a donor's milk?
Well,
yes. Well, according to the WHO infant feeding hierarchy, right, the best will be the mother's direct latch, right. Second will be a healthy wet nurse, so milk mother's direct latch, right. The third will be a healthy wet nurse, so milk mother's express breast milk, right. And the following will be. The last one would be
formula.
The last best would be the formula milk for an infant.
So again, when it comes to accessibility, I mean, do you guys have to vet through? Is there a process where you kind of say, all right, this milk is safe for consumption, or you allow the mothers on the network itself to decide?
Yeah. Since we work like a virtual notice board, so we just administer the notice board. And then maybe we provide a few guidelines in our FAQ, frequently asked questions. So we advise in the frequently asked questions that, the donor and donee get to know each other. Whatever they want to do, like when we're meeting up, and, if it's okay for both parties, and then they will exchange by themselves, and we are not
I see.
don't take part in
so you allow that process, that relationship to build up between those mothers. All right. Do you recommend the pasteurized, unpasteurized procedure?
Yes, we do, because for unpasteurized breast milk, of course, you get the best nutrient from there, but there is a risk of diseases from there, like what I mentioned earlier. Because through pasteurization, you can kill some some the harmful pathogen like the HIV or even hepatitis B, C.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Now, let's get some experiences from, the mothers right now. How many children do you have?
I have 4.
You have 4.
Yeah.
So do you breastfeed all 4 children?
No, I didn't breastfeed my first one.
Okay.
My eldest is 16 now. So 16 years ago, the support and the information is not as easily accessible as today,
Right.
Facebook is amazing,
Yes.
With my second, third and fourth, I did breastfeed them. And even though, even then, I have a lot to learn. I learned on the way and made a lot of mistakes on the way. And finally, when I arrived at my third and fourth children, I breastfeed them fully. So with my own experience, I know how difficult it is to actually breastfeed without support. And that's why we set up the Breastfeeding Advocates Network.
So what are the difficulties, if you have to share them, Gina?
Yeah, the most is the support around us, my mom, the confinement ladies, the people around us who have no knowledge of breastfeeding at all. So when I hold my baby in my arms, the first thing they say is, "Are you sure you have milk?" And then when the baby cries, they say, "Oh, the baby is hungry. I'm sure you have no milk. You can't breastfeed. Nobody in our family breastfeed. What makes you think you could breastfeed?" And day in, day out,
And you wouldn't know. You don't know what's the difference between which is the truth and
I wouldn't know. At that time, I wouldn't know. But as time goes by, with more information, with my own research and education, and I realized all the mistakes I've made. And that is why I made it a point to educate other new mothers.
What are the main problems or difficulties that women, mothers who actually go to your page or share their stories or input face? Like, something that you always hear all the time.
Well, usually we get a lot of questions on our Facebook page, and usually it begins with the baby is not able to latch on, and there isn't enough supply. My confinement lady is telling me to top up powdered milk.
Sounds like top up your phone credit.
Do you do that? What is your answer to that, Daphne, in terms of when there isn't enough breast milk?
Usually we go back to the basics, like are you feeding your baby via the bottle already?
Right.
How old is your baby right now?
Right.
And we also look at whether you're still in your confinement, because depends on the age of the baby, we would be able to determine how much the baby intake is.
So if there isn't enough breast milk, would you, suggest then it's okay for mothers to use, partly formula?
Jeopardizes the supply, but I'll let Gina explain that part.
Because I know my friends actually feel bad. They actually feel really sad when they can't produce enough milk for the baby.
Right. Yes, that's right. You see, most mothers, they want to breastfeed. When they're pregnant, the first thing that comes into their mind is they want to breastfeed, and they will say, "I will try to breastfeed." And they do try. A lot of them try very, very hard. But because of the lack of information or lack of support that's around them, they end up not. And they wanted to supplement, and then they feel bad about it. The guilt is in them, so they come to us for advice and help. And the best advice that we can give them is to actually direct latch round the clock. Usually, I'll just tell a mother who comes to me, I'll just tell them, okay, for the next 24 hours, you try your best. Just direct latch. Every time the baby cries, you just put the baby to the breast. Yes, the baby might be on your breast 24 hours a day, but you just try. Just for the next 24 hours, it's a challenge, all right? And you just feed and feed and feed. And you'll be really surprised that milk can just increase just like that in 24 hours. Now, if the milk don't increase and they feel the need to top up, all right, we will actually point them to the next hierarchy in WHO recommendation, which is another mother's milk, and that's where human milk for human babies
come in. So you guys do work together in that sense?
We do, and we always point it to them, to the experts who knows more about milk donation and the safety of milk. And of course, there are things that we actually advise them to do. But in the end, we will leave the decision up to the mother to actually either get donor's milk, all right, which is far, far better, or to top up with any other form of milk. That
your first child, you did not breastfeed. Right. Do you see a difference, or in general, is there a difference between a child who breastfeeds their mother's milk and the one who doesn't?
Definitely. Even today, he's 16 years old, and he is weaker than physically. He gets sick more often. He has allergies, he has skin problems, he he has digestion problems. And even today, sometimes he say, Mommy, you know, when he gets sick, he'll say, yeah, because you didn't breastfeed me. But of course, you know, he's a good boy. He knows the trouble that I go through. And sometimes when he hear me on the phone helping another mother, he will comment things like, oh, I really hope the mother listens to you, you know.
That's really sweet.
So there's a difference in terms of the immune system.
The immune system, yes, definitely a lot. Yeah.
Maybe we can get a little feedback from all of you. What is a good diet, or is there a specific diet that a breastfeeding mother should have?
Okay, there is always a myth that, you know, a breastfeeding mom has or must follow a very strict diet. But in general, as a breastfeeding mother, you can actually follow a normal, healthy diet. Right? You don't have to like specifically, you must eat this or you cannot eat that. It's not everything in moderate, that will be fine actually. Okay. Because we produce breast milk based on our baby's growth, you see, so on different stages.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been so informative to have all of you here share about your experiences. And if you need more information on breastfeeding as well as breast milk donation, do check out this website that is going to be on your screen in a moment.
It's lovebreastfeeding.com, and then the next one is facebook.com/HM4HB Malaysia.
Yes, that's that. So if you have any questions, we have these ladies here from the Breastfeeding Advocates Network, and you have a very active Facebook going on.
We are known as TBAN.
TBAN.
How do you spell that out?
TBAN, the Breastfeeding Advocates Network.
Okay. TBAN. Just search for them, and then, you know, shoot all your queries away. Thank you very much, ladies, for coming over.
Thank you so much.
Yes, very insightful indeed. We're going to take a quick break, but here's what's coming up next after the commercials.
The Bella Awards is just around the corner. Stay tuned as we'll be speaking to 2 award nominees who are truly inspirational. Don't miss that when we return.